Authorities in the Umgeni local municipality continue to battle veld fires raging in the area. At least 13 people have died so far. Dozens more have lost their homes. Let's try and get you a better understanding of these fires. Linton Rensburg is with the organisation Working on Fire, and he joins us this afternoon. Linton, a very good afternoon to you. Thanks for your time. It's difficult to understand, right, how these fires begin, but just on the face of it, what's taken place over the past week or so in many parts of KZN. What's your assessment of the situation? Yeah.
Well, certainly it's been a very difficult time for not only our firefighters from the Working on Fire and KwaZulu joint venture, but fire services across KwaZulu-Natal. As you might recall, the South African Weather Service issued the High Fire Danger Index, high FDI for KwaZulu-Natal last week already. So this FDI, high heat, strong winds, so this fueled these particular fires, particularly in the Zululand area. And over the past weekend, as you know, it has been a very busy time for our firefighters. Our firefighters from Working on Fire for the past 7 days attended just under 100 fires alone in KwaZulu-Natal, and of course many of those fires in the Zululand area and also in the King Cetshwayo district municipality.
The issue of the wind is a big one, isn't it, Linton? When we talk about the ability for fires to spread and how it makes things incredibly difficult to try and get a fire under control.
Well, typically when we have wildfires, heat is a problem, wind is a problem, but also the type of vegetation that we're dealing with. And when you have dry vegetation, which certainly looks to be the case in these particular fires, you've got all those elements working together. If you have an ignition point, it is a sure recipe for disaster. And unfortunately, we've seen over the past week now, with the number of people that have died, certainly we express our heartfelt condolences to the families, to the colleagues of the 6 firefighters who passed away yesterday. But we also don't forget the 7 community members that have also lost their lives out in KwaZulu-Natal. But Michelle, the important thing for our viewers to understand is that we're going through climate change now. Global warming is with us. We've seen over the past 12 months the global temperature increase now from last year, in fact from May last year up until May this year, 1.63 degree increase in global temperature. And that is something that we're experiencing here in South Africa. We've experienced in last year in September and October with the fires in the Northwest and the Free State. And we've seen this past weekend, not only in KwaZulu-Natal, we've had fires in Mpumalanga, in Limpopo, in the Northwest province, and in the Free State province. So over this weekend, and KwaZulu joint venture, together with our aerial resources, fight 92 fires just over this weekend alone. So this is a clear indication that we need to start working much more closely with our national disaster management centre as well as provincial disaster management centres.
Yeah, and we do seem to be struggling with our connection to you, Linton, so my apologies to our viewers. Perhaps as I ask the next question, it'll give the connection a chance to stabilise just a bit. You know, you've mentioned how climate change and global warming has impacted the work of firefighters, how it's impacted communities insofar as these kinds of veld fires are concerned. Linton, it also means that we can't continue to fight these fires, we can't continue to work as fire organizations the way we've been working for the past 30, 40 years, right? What needs to change as we face these double challenges of global warming and climate change?
Well, importantly, we've advocated, firstly, that a program like Working on Fire, we've got 5,300 firefighters right across South Africa. And we've said it 2 years ago when we gave our input on the climate change bill that we need to look at increasing our full-time wildland firefighters in South Africa. And we've said that not only in terms of wildland firefighting, but remember we are also going to experience other natural disasters like floods. And we've already seen it in KwaZulu-Natal 2 years ago. So what we've advocated is that we need to put in place a national response team. And certainly we believe that the Working on Fire Kisugu joint venture is well placed. We've been in this business for just over 20 years, implementing the Working on Fire program. A great emphasis needs to be placed on awareness and education in communities, particularly our rural communities, because these are the communities we've seen now in KwaZulu-Natal that are severely affected by these wildfires that are definitely brought on by the global warming and climate change. So awareness and education, but
all right, we do apologize. We seem to be struggling with our connection to Linton Rensburg. He's the stakeholder manager at the organization Working on Fire, and we're in conversation with him about how the Umgeni local municipality is continuing to battle veld fires ranging in the area. We know that at least 13 people have lost their lives, and of course, many, many more have lost their homes and all of their belongings as well. Linton Rensburg, let me thank you for your time this afternoon. It does appear we have lost that connection altogether, but I think some important points well made.